Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about a connection between two common medical conditions, namely diabetes and depression. Now some of you may be wondering, how can there be a connection between a metabolic disease and a disorder which is related more to mental health? Well, turns out that there is in fact what we call as a bi-directional relationship. It's easy to imagine why somebody with diabetes would be depressed. The moment you tell them you have diabetes, the first thought that will probably come to mind, oh my god, there goes my ice creams, there goes my gulab jamun, which I love so much. So that is enough to produce depression in many people. Of course, if you take it to the next stage, where people with diabetes have pain in the feet due to neuropathy, or loss of vision due to diabetic eye disease, or if the kidney starts failing, it's not difficult to imagine why people with diabetes can get depressed. But I mentioned a bi-directional relationship. So how does depression lead to diabetes? Turns out that when you have depression, anxiety, stress, and so on, the counter-regulatory hormones are stimulated. These hormones like epinephrine, norepinephrine, cortisol, growth hormone, and so on, these are called counter-regulatory hormones because they counter the action of insulin. As you all know, insulin is perhaps the only hormone which can reduce the blood sugar levels in the body. All these hormones tend to increase the blood sugar levels in the body. So when these hormones are stimulated, when one is depressed or anxious or stressed, then what happens is that due to the effect of the increase in these counter-regulatory hormones, the action of insulin gets decreased, and thereby the sugar can go up and you can develop a depression-related diabetes, what we also call as a stress-related diabetes. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this is because recently we at Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Specialty Center and the Madras Diabetes Research Foundation, along with our collaborators, Dr. Mohammad Ali and Dr. Venkat Narayan and others at the university, at the Emory University in Atlanta, and some of the pioneers in this work in the field of depression from the University of Washington at Seattle, have completed a major NIH-funded project. The aim of the project was to try to see whether collaborative care, by which we mean that using care coordinators who are not psychiatrists, they are not psychologists, they are not trained, but using dietitians or graduates or diabetes educators or social workers and giving them a short training, whether by counseling people who visit a diabetes center for depression and also screening for depression to find out how many of them have depression, whether we can produce improvements both in the depressive symptoms as well as in the metabolic control, that is the control of diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, etc. This study, called as the Independent Study, was very recently published in the prestigious medical journal called JAMA, or the Journal of the American Medical Association. The results were very encouraging. What we found was that by training these care coordinators who would then screen the patients attending diabetes centers, and there were 4 diabetes centers involved in this. We had Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Specialty Center at Chennai. We had the Diacon Hospital in Bangalore with Dr. S.R. Arvind. Then we had Dr. G.R. Sridhar's Diabetes and Endocrine Center at Visakhapatnam. And then of course we had Dr. Nikhil Tandon as a collaborator representing the Diabetes and Endocrine Department at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Overall, about 400 patients were recruited into the study. We divided them into two. One where there was an intervention arm where the care coordinators counseled these patients with depression, and in the other arm, called as a control arm, the only routine treatment for diabetes was given. The results were very encouraging. As I said, there was almost a 50% or more drop in the depressive symptoms, and also concomitantly an improvement in the diabetic status, in the blood pressure control, as well as in the control of cholesterol. levels. So all this was achieved at very low cost using a decision support computer software which we had prepared specially for this purpose. And the good news is, therefore, that by controlling diabetes, you can control depression, and by controlling depression, you can control diabetes. So message for everyone is that there's nothing to despair if you have a chronic condition like diabetes, and there's nothing to despair even if you have depression. Just with a little bit of counseling, behavioral modification, advice, and motivational interviewing and talking by care coordinators, and by constant follow-up, we were able to improve both diabetes and depression. This is great news for a country which has over 80 million people with diabetes, and almost 15% of the population has some form of depression, and among people with diabetes, the prevalence of depression is in the range of 20%. So I wanted to share this good news with you. We will also provide at the end of this video a link to the paper published in JAMA, and also to a blog which will be published in our website. So stay tuned, and we'll be providing you more such videos of the research work being carried out at the Madras Diabetes Research Foundation and Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Specialty Center. Stay tuned, and if you like this video, please subscribe and share with others. Thank you very much.